All right, so everybody on page 863. Okay, so we're going to talk about line plots or dot plots. So there's line plots and dot plots are the same thing, okay? A line plot has x's, and guess what dot plots have? Oh, I know, it's so hard. Getting the same thing. Each of these represent how many times that number appears. Okay, so you should see already here in the data, the reason why that they had put this tally here is basically they're showing all the range of the numbers. Okay, so how many zeros did they have in the data? They had 2. Okay, so that's why they did 2 x's. You could do 2 dots, I don't care. Okay, so then I'm now looking here. How many ones do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, I'm not doing tallies. So then what would I put over here? I would put how many x's? I would put 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, how many 2's do I have? Same thing. We're taking this data. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're making it look really, really organized. Okay, next one is 3. I have 3 3's. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 4. And I probably should not have this that close. There we go. Okay, so what a dot plot or a line plot shows you is all of this crazy math written more organized. So it's a way to show you visually what that looks like. If you don't remember what a dot plot looks like, you can look at the chapter 12 poster over there where it shows you what that looks like, okay? Now, then I will ask you questions related to this. So one of the questions I could ask you, and you can add this wherever you have space, is I could ask you, what is this talking about? The students in Mrs. Cotter's class were asked how many after-school activities they have. That's a statistical question. How many activities does each student do after school? Right? That would be a statistical question. So what if I asked you this question? How many were surveyed? I would write this down because you were like what a lot of the questions on your homework are going to be. How many kids were surveyed? What'd you do? If I ask you how many kids were asked this question, what would you do here, Summer? Add them all. Add, what's the them? Add all the tallies together, or the x's, right? So I had 2 kids here. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kids here. 4, 3, and 1. So I would add 2 plus 6 plus 4 plus 3 plus 1. 4, 8. I should probably be 10, 15, 16. 16 kids were surveyed. So you just count all the x's, okay? The total. Or like you said, the tally. I don't always do the tally. So you're going to go straight from this to this, okay? All right. Now, ready? Yes. I meant to do 2. Sorry, I did tallies initially and then I changed my mind. Sorry. That's me. Okay, ready? What is the range of the number of activities? What did you say here? What's the range and the number of activities? Let's see if you're going to look at the right part here. Am I doing 6 minus 1 or am I doing 4 minus 0? Which is the range here in the data. Good. Okay. Don't worry, you're not the only one to say that today, okay? So think about these were our numbers, right? Aren't these all our numbers? If I said to find the range of the data, you take your lowest number, which is 0, and your highest number, which was 4. Okay, so your range in your data is this part. So if you want to put this in right range, that's what you're doing. Okay, so range in this case would be 4 minus 0, which is a range of 4 activities. So the least amount of activities, 0. Some kids didn't do any activities after school. So the highest number that they could do is 4. Somebody's apparently crazy and doing 4 activities after school. Anyways, okay, now, ready? What is the most common or popular activity? See if you can do that. What's the most common or most popular activity that kids did? See if you can tell me which one it is here. Chris? One activity, right? Why is it one activity? Because 6 kids did it. It's the most popular, so therefore 1 would be that. Okay, last question. This one's for Mary. Okay, ready? How many kids participated in at least an activity? How many kids participated in at least an activity? This brings us back to those inequality signs. So see if you could pick that one out here. At least. Which one?
I didn't read them.
Back there. You grab one from the other. Your brush? 14. Do you like 14? I like 14. Where the clean pencils are at. It is 14. Because isn't at least an activity meaning, if I do 0 activities, did I do at least an activity? No, I wasn't doing anything. So you are correct. It's all of them except for the zeros. Everybody else is doing something. So remember that this is at least an activity means at least one activity. 0 is not at least 1. Remember how we did that? And then 1 is at least 1. Yes. And 2 is at least 1. Yes. And 3 is at least 1. So that's what it means here. So actually this one would be this symbol, greater than or equal to 1. So that's a really good question. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the next part here. So go ahead and flip the page. Okay, let's look at page 864. And you should have at the bottom where it says Xavier. You have one that says Xavier at the bottom. A. Okay, we're going to fill that in today. Now, do you see on the side of your paper, you have a bunch of those lines? Like that line little thing? That's where you can do your that's where you can answer, write the questions that I have down, okay? All right, so Xavier asked members of his 4-H club how many projects they were taking. The results are shown in the table. Make a line plot of the data, then to describe the data in the graph. I'm going to ask the questions, so you don't have to describe it. I'll say, how many positions are in? Okay? Can somebody close that door? So anytime you use the restroom, just close the door. Someone.
I'm trying to close the window.
You have to like hold on it and like push on it, because otherwise it works. That's why it's not closing. Okay, so ready? So we are looking at here. So we're going to take this data and graph it. So what was the statistical question? He asked his members, how many projects did each 4-H club member take? I don't know what project you do in 4-H, but okay. That wasn't my thing in school. All right, we have a 0, so we have 1, 0. You could do dots by all means. I like to do X's because it's a little easier. 1, how many ones do I have? Let's see, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 2s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See how I'm crossing out? You always want to do that too. 3 3s. 2 4s. And a 5. Okay, now I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 3, 1, 5, guess I'm just answering this question. No. Yes.
What's the difference in this?
Huh?
Was there a difference in this?
Is it different?
Yeah, a lot different.
Oh, yeah, because I screenshotted it. I screenshot. So I wrote the stuff at the top and then I just screenshotted the bottom part. Because all the other stuff is the extra examples, didn't need to look at them. Okay, all right, ready? Okay, here's a good question to put on the side here. Okay. You don't have to write the whole thing, so I got 3 questions here. How many 4-H members were surveyed? So for number 1, you could just write surveyed. You know what that is. Actually put total surveyed. How many were surveyed? So what do we do from like we did last time? Elena, what do we do, honey? How do we find how many kids were surveyed? How do I know how many kids were surveyed? Ask this question. Oh, yeah. So I have a 1, 3, let's say 5, 3, 2, and a 1. 3, 6, 9 plus 6 is 15, which I already counted that earlier. I don't know if any of you caught that. By the way, isn't this a 3 by 5? The amount of kids in this room, except for who's missing this way, right? 3 by 5. Okay, now, how many oh, here's another one. How many kids were working on at least 3 projects? At least 3. So for question number 2, all you have to do is write at least 3. How many kids were at least 3? So you ask yourself 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 3. What would that be now? Third one? 6, correct. At least 3 means 3 or more. So that's the 3 plus the 2 plus the 1. So that is 6 kids. Good job. Okay, what's the mode of the data? What's the mode of the data? I could ask you that question. What's the mode? So yeah. 2, correct. Because this is the number of projects that appears the most. I don't want 6, I want 2, because that's telling me this part here. That would also be replaced by what's the most common project? And then let me add one more. So you can just write mode 2. What if I said then, okay, this one's for America now, ready? At most 2. How many projects or how many students participated in at most 2 projects? At most. So think about what does that mean? Nathan? Correct. At most means no more than. The most I can participate in is 2. Okay? I know, you're thinking at least. So if I say at most 2, the most I can do is 2 projects. That's what that means. So that means 2 or less. That's the most I can do. So that would be 1 plus 4. 1 plus the 4 plus the 6 kids, 5 kids. Right, 5? Oh. He count, I saw what he was doing. He was counting it. So it's 1 plus 3 plus 5. 1, 2, 3, no, it's 9. Sorry, 9. I saw him count though. He stopped right where he was at. You did all that, right?
Yes.
That's all you did. Yeah, that's all you're good. Trust me, I would give it to him. He didn't do it right. Sorry. It is actually 9, and I counted 10 myself. I don't know. Question? Sorry. They should be able to correct me. All right, now, this one's already done for us, so now let's answer some questions. So go to the next page, 865. You should see where it says B. See B? And now it's analyzing. Okay, so these are really, really good questions here. Okay, it's already done for us. These are what you're going to see on your homework as well, where you're going to fill in the data. So some of the questions I want to ask you is find the mean, median, mode, range of the data. And then I'm going to say, is there an outlier? Okay, let me be clear on something right here. This right here and this right here, this is basically, there's nothing here, right? And then that means there's nothing here. This right here is called a gap in the data. Think about like a gap between two feet. Okay. I used to have one. And then 50 braces. And then also this right here is also considered to be a gap in the data. This here is not considered a gap because there's no other numbers over here. Okay. So those right there are representing a gap. That means there's no data there. Okay. So let's find the median and the mode. I could also ask you to find the mean. But again, this is how you do it. You ask yourself, how many 17s do I have? How many 18s do I have? Don't say 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5. If it was that easy, that would be the way that I would be doing it. So in order for you to find the median, you have 1 17, 2 18s, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 23, 23, 23, 24, 25, and 25. So, okay. Now, I know some of you are going to want to start crossing the X's out up there. If you do that, you're probably going to make a mistake. Okay, would that be the easiest way? Yes. But you have to know which way to go, like how you go up and down. So like, don't just do it this way, okay? Hopefully I won't have that many X's. So what's the middle number here? I'm gonna take a guess, it's probably 20. Yeah. Just looking at it, it should be around 20. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, if I'm stuck between 20 and 20, it's just 20, right? So technically we'd be right here, which is 20. So the mode is 20, right? The median is 20. What's the range of the data? So here's where I get kids saying the wrong thing. So let's see if you can get this one right. What is the range of the data? This one is different than the ones I showed you. Okay, let's see if we can get this one right now. So range in the data. Boy. Not 10. Okay? Here's why. Why is it, anybody can tell me why it's not 10? Anybody? Why is it not 10? That's a common answer to it, okay? All the things that I've heard all day, so don't think I hear this every year. Why is it not 10, Steve?
Because from 25 to 15, it's nothing.
Correct. Is there any 15s in the data? No. Are there any 16s in the data? No, they're just added there. Why are they added there? I don't know. They should have never put it there in the first place, but look at your numbers. My lowest number in the data is really 17, and my highest is 25. So in this case, right here doesn't exist. So you look at where your first dot is at, where your first dot, and your last dot, okay? So the range in the data is here. That's why I did it like that last time. So you might want to put range like this. So it'd be 25 minus 17, which is 8. There are 8 numbers in between? No. Yep. Okay. 8. Do I have an outlier? Do I have one little dot that doesn't belong with the rest? No, I don't. These are all together. These are all together. Everybody's together by somebody. They're close. They're close. Now, if I had a number all the way out here at, let's say 40, you clearly could say that that's an outlier. Okay, that's why these are a lot easier to see if outliers or not. Okay, so we don't have one, so we would say none or no or whatever. Okay, so now here's the questions. How many students told, okay, here's that one again. At most 20. So question number one, good to put in your notes. At most 20. See if you remember what we did. This one's not for America because we already went over one of those. But let's see if I can get somebody to say the right thing. At most 20. The most. One. 8. How many people agree with 8? I do too. At most 20 means 20 or less. The most I can have is that. So you have a 1, a 2, and a 5, which is 8. Okay, what's the most popular amount sold? What's the most popular number of magazines sold here? Joy? 11. Oh, no, I'm the wrong one. Most popular sold. The most popular. Huh? How are you doing that? Which one is, okay, let me ask you this. Which one is appearing the most? That's what I'm thinking, okay? Isn't this the most? Okay, most popular is mode, cool? Most popular is mode. So it'd be 20. I think you're adding, okay? How many students were in the student council then? What would I do there? How many students were in the student council? They were asked this. How many kids are there? Is that right? 14. How'd you get that? You count them all up. So see how I said how many students were in the student council? That means again, what's the total, right? These are all the kids that were surveyed. Because it says each member of the student council sold. So that means everybody was even marked. Even if a kid didn't sell any, there would be an X there. But they all sold at least 17, right? At least 17 were sold. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14. Okay. All right. Okay, so this one's up at the board. So go ahead up to the board, and I would like you to answer these questions here. Go up to the board, please. And this one should be our last one. Okay, so using this picture here, and remember I can have this extend beyond there. Okay, so here's your first question. Find the mean, the median, and the mode of the data. So the measures of center. Measures of center. So remember, let's be clear. Am I writing down 1, 1, 2, 2, then 4? Am I writing that down? No, I'm writing down how many 25s are there. So let's do that together. I'll write it down with you, okay? So we have how many 25? We have 4. So we have 25, 25, 25, 25. That's 100. We have 2 30s, 2 40s, a 45, and Mr. 65. Okay, so now I would like you to find the mean, the median, and the mode, and then answer, let's see if I put this like this, a little bit bigger, and then answer these questions about the data. I'm going to also identify the gaps in the data. Once you have all those numbers written out, the rest is pretty easy. Okay, remember you can group the numbers together when you're trying to do the addition, just like your rush is doing. That's what I would be doing too. Don't have to. Okay, you know, 4 quarters is $1, so put 100. 2/30s is 60, 2/40s is 80, and then add 45 and 65. I'm just saying that'd be the easiest way I would do it. How many X's do we have, by the way? 2, 4, 6, 8. You got 10? You guys get 10 numbers? Again, this is one strategy. This is 100. This is 60. This is 80. And then I would just do 45 and 65, just because I don't want to add that in my head. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, see what we get. All right, let's see. I haven't done this problem today because last lesson was a hot mess and I told them did the wrong lesson. Well, I mean, I did the right lesson, but not the version I made. This looks all weirdly weird. Well, no wonder. Oh, I got a whole number. Can you get a whole number for the first one? So find the median, which is the middle number, and find the mode, which is no problem. I have. I'm like, oh. 30, 30, 40, 40, 45. Okay. Now. That was better. Now that 10 means up on there. No. Because there's nothing on the side. Oh, I added that just to get confused you on purpose. Okay. Okay, if you're finished with it, just take a seat. Okay, make sure you answer the questions 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then head back to your seat. If you're at your seat, you can come actually, once you're done, come and see me to get this homework worksheet. Once you're back at your seat, you can start looking at that. That is old. That's, I don't think I've ever seen that. Once you're done with all the questions, come and see me, please. And answer question 4. Identify the gaps. Where are the gaps at? Keep on working. And then this will be the last thing I go over to see how you did. Don't erase it, I want to see it. Some of you didn't answer, whoever's not seat, or whoever's at board 13, you didn't answer the last couple questions. Median mode. Find the real number. Look at that. So, answer for the first one. The mean was 35, right? Median was what? Was it Exactly 30? You got stuck between 30 and 30? Okay. Yep, 30 and 30 is 30. Mode is 25. Okay, how many prices were recorded? All of them added up to 10, right? We already knew divided by 10. How many sweaters cost at least 30? That means 30 or more. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6, right? Is there an outlier? Oh, yeah. Ooh, this little buddy right here, he's by himself. So therefore, yes, you should have said 65. And what are the gaps? The gaps are at, not at 20, 35, 50, 55, and 60. Those are the gaps. Okay? All right, go ahead and erase your board. Come and see me if you haven't got the paper, and then put your marker back and get ready to go. Okay? There is a backside, but there's only like 4 problems. 2, you make the line plots, or actually 5, if you do 5 columns. Most of them are just answering.
And one of the best uses there is called the overflow error.
Oh, yes, there is an overflow error. Anybody else need a copy? I have a couple you didn't grab one yet. Lena, did you get one, honey? Well, this one you want to turn in, but you want to put it out. But the one, yes, tomorrow, put it right there, okay? Make sure you erase your board, or if somebody's real close by, erase it. Least greatest. Yeah, the L to G means show me you're putting in for least to greatest. Anybody else? I think I made 2 extra copies on purpose. I think. Yes, I did, because I made, no, I didn't. Huh? Somebody put it in the wrong one. Put it in one that you see that's empty. Make sure you guys are putting yours back in the right spot. Some of you didn't do it right yesterday. Somebody in this class did. All right, have a good one. Make sure your eraser and your markers put back. Please, please, please. Thank you, camera. All right. Bye, guys.